Today's topic is talking about your hometown. What is your hometown like? We can use lots of great vocabulary to talk about places, buildings, and people, even the vibe of your hometown. Let's begin. When you're talking about your hometown, don't be afraid to use all of your senses. So what can you see, smell, hear, even taste or feel could be useful. So for instance, what does the place look like? Is it vibrant, gorgeous, breathtaking, spectacular? Is it old-fashioned or modern? Is it clean or polluted? What does your hometown sound like? Is it loud, noisy? Is it very quiet? You can even use the smells to help you think of more things to say. Do you always smell fresh bread or the meat grilling on the street? There's a lot of things that might happen around you in your hometown that you can use to extend your answer. As for taste, well, hey, food and what food is available in your hometown is always some content you can use if you run out of things to say. What kind of food can you buy in your hometown? Is your hometown famous for any special foods? Sometimes students get nervous and they run out of things to say, so don't be afraid to use food to help you keep going. And lastly, feel. What is the vibe of your hometown? Is it a very happy place? Is it buzzing? Is it crowded, positive? Does it have good energy? Is it a great place for young people, for instance? And to extend your talk, you can also talk about what activities you can do there and whether or not you might recommend your hometown for people to live in or not, depending on how you feel about it. Don't forget, you can also talk about special places within your hometown. Things like swimming pools or cinemas or movie theaters, art galleries, shopping centers, libraries. Is there a harbor? Any stadiums? Things like that can help you pad out your answer. You can also talk about where your hometown is within your country. Is it near the coast or on the coast by the ocean? Is it more inland? Is it next to some mountains, for instance? You can really set the scene for your hometown by explaining to the examiner if you're taking an IELTS exam, or to your friend if you're trying to let them know where your hometown is located. You can also talk about weather. Is your hometown normally hot, humid? Does it have mild winters or freezing winters? Is there a rainy season in your hometown? If so, when does it occur? If you're talking about buildings, is your hometown very modern? Are there many skyscrapers, for instance, very tall buildings? Do you have any special old historic buildings in your hometown? Or do you have buildings that you would describe as being very ordinary or boring? Or do you really like the architecture in your hometown? One more tip, if you have run out of things to say about your hometown and you need to keep going, you can always talk about what has changed. So maybe your hometown used to be very peaceful and clean and quiet, but maybe now it has become a bigger city that is more vibrant and hectic and crowded. It could be touristy, for instance. So you can always rely on the past to say what it used to be like and compare to what you would say it's like now. This can always help you extend your answer. can also talk about whether you think your hometown is expensive or cheap, or you might say it's reasonable. So maybe not too expensive, not too cheap, a reasonable place to buy things. Transportation is another common thing. How do people usually get around in your hometown? Is it by motorbike, cars, bus, train? How do people normally travel throughout your hometown? If your hometown is quite crowded and busy, you might also call it bustling. There are different cities around the world known for being particularly lively. Lots going on. Is your hometown a city that never sleeps? Is there always something that you can do in the daytime or nighttime? Or is it a quiet, sleepy town where there's not much to do after dark? Are you ready to talk about your hometown? Practice with your friends, your family, and don't forget to record yourself. If you can speak for at least a minute about your hometown, you're in good shape. I do recommend going back and having a listen to your recording. If you notice there are certain words that you're repeating a lot, like good, pretty, or beautiful, go back and see if you can find some other synonyms that will help you so that you don't have to use the same word many times.